Hi guys, welcome to another session on Protector. My name is Karanbir Singh. So guys, let's have a quick recap of what we did in the last session. In the last session, we understood synchronization and asynchronization. We understood it from two perspectives. One was from the application and another one was how we can use it in the Protector framework. So let's move on to the topic that we are going to cover in this video. So guys, in this video, we are going to implement assertions to the framework, which is the Protector framework using Chai. Now guys, Chai in itself has three types of further assertions, which is should, expect, and assert. We'll understand about this a lot more detail. So let me just switch to Chrome browser and let me just open a new tab here. And in the Google search, I'll just search for Chai assertion library. You can see I'll hit enter. And the first option that I get is chaijs.com. I'll just open this. And you can see this. So this is exactly from where I had added the screenshot in the presentation. Three different types of assertions which are provided by this library. So basically guys, Chai is an assertion library. This is an additional library provided to support your Protector framework. We do have a default assertion library as well. So let me just quickly open Visual Studio for you. And in this, we can do one thing. Let's get rid of these console.logs. Let's keep it clean. And let's try and assert something. So guys, if you remember in the last flow that we did, right, we clicked on login. And let's say I enter an email here and I click on continue. So for sure, I want to test whether this is a correct email address or not. And how can I verify? With this alert bar which just appeared here which says there was a problem, we cannot find an account. So this is what we would want to verify, right? In a framework, we always want to test the negative scenarios as well. So assertion helps us in testing the negative scenarios, right? So if I go back here now, at this point what I'm doing is I'm clicking on the login button and then I am using send keys. So I'm entering something here. Next thing is I would really want to click on login button, the continue button as well. So I'll just add this. So okay, I have this and I'll say click. So we have already created these elements in the previous videos. If you've not gone through that, I'll put the link in the description of this video. You can go through that video as well. So what we've done here is we have clicked on the login button. We are sending some data to the input of username, and then we are clicking on the continue button. So if you remember, right? Let's do it again. If I enter something wrong here and I click on continue, I need to click on this continue in order to get this alert, right? So that is why we have just clicked on the continue button. Now let's see how do we assert. So as I said, the Protector framework provides assert by itself, right? Let's click on this, and if you see, the assert has been asserted from console. Okay, so we don't want it from console. I'll just remove it. I'll hover on this. Okay, yep, I'll hover on this. We'll go to quick fix and you can see that there's an assert default library. So this assert is a default library provided by Protector. If I click on the dot, and you can see that it supports few of the function, which is deep strict equal. Let me just get down here. It says deep strict equal, does not match, does not reject, does not throw, fail, if error. If you get an error, assert in that case, right? It says match something, right? Value of a string, maybe two strings. Then it says deep, not deep strict equal, right? So that means something which is not equal, not strict equal. Okay, rejects. So these are the different types of asserts which are by default provided by Protector. But the library that we are going to talk about, which is the Chai library, these are the additional supports provided in the assertions. Right, so now Chai in itself has three types of assertions, which is should, expect, and assert. If we talk about expect, right, so this is something which comes in the default framework, which is Jasmine framework. So these types of asserts are by default present in the Jasmine framework, but as we are working on Cucumber Protector framework, so in order to support expect, right, we need to have some additional library, and we are going to use Chai for that. So let's have a quick overlook at the things that are already present in the Chai, like we have should, expect. Let's go through all of them. So should is something which says like if I just quickly go through this, it says we have an object which is foo and equals to bar. It's a string object, right? So in this we have, you can see that we say that foo should be a string. So we are saying foo object should be a string. Foo should be equal to bar. So the value of the object should be equal to bar. So this is how we use should, right? If we want to specifically mention that this should be present in an object. So basically should is used with the help of an object. Now foo here is an object of string type. So I say string should be a string. I'm asserting it. If it is not a string, then it will fail in this case and will give us an assertion, right? Let's move on to the next one, which is expect. Now in this expect, I see I am having the same example where I say foo is an object and is equals to bar. That means foo is a string type object. So what do we say? We say expect foo to be a string. Expect foo to be equal bar. That means the value of the string to be equals bar. So now you might be wondering what is the difference between expect and should, right? So this is what they have explained here as well, that in should we use the object and then we define, right? Then we assert it. We say foo should be, object should be a string, whereas in expect, we first mention the expect condition. We say expect foo to be a string. I am not assertive, I am saying expect foo to be a string. So the additional difference between expect, apart from this object, that apart from expect being used as a function, whereas in should we are using it directly on the object, is that in expect we can also give the default, or we can say the custom messages. Like if I say expect foo to be a string, if it is not true, I can also add my own message in this, right? So these are the two types, should and expect. And the third type is assert, which is like assert dot type of foo. We are saying assert the type of, for the foo object. Again, we are using the same example where foo is equals to bar. Foo is a string type object. We're saying the type of foo has to be string. Assert dot equal foo equals to bar, length of foo. So these are the three different types, right? Don't worry if you're not getting it. We'll understand this a lot more while we progress, right? While we start coding with this. And it also helps us with the downloading part, right? It guides us how we can download. So if you see, it's very simple. We just write npm install chai. So this is the complete page, right? This is the complete documentation. You can go through this if you want to additionally understand anything, right? Let's move on to the part here, right? And let's just remove this because we do have the default assert with us. And let's do one thing. Let's install chai now. So the command was npm install chai, and let me just zoom in for you so that you guys can see. So here we have started the installation of chai, and you can see that chai is being installed. Done, right? So I'll just quickly once again run npm install. This is just precautionary, right? Though we do not require it, but still. Now guys, I'm again going to add the assert class, and let's see if now we have. Okay, so let's get it from console. I'll just change console and I'll say I want it from chai. So as soon as I do this, right, if you hover on chai, I'm still getting some error. So it additionally requires an installation of types slash chai. So let's quickly install that. I'll just write npm install @types hyphen chai slash chai, and I'll just install it. Right, so the installation is done. You can see as soon as we installed, there is no more error here. And if you remember earlier, we had few of the properties, right? Now, if I just add a dot, you can see that the number of properties in assert have increased drastically. You can see there are many of them, like not equals, not exist, not extensible, not frozen, not includes. I mean, it would be difficult for me to read them all, but then there are many properties which have now been added, like strict equal, sealed, same order member, same member, toString, type of, like the example we read in the website of Chai. So there are many, like length of, is undefined, is true, is sealed, is okay, is null. So these are these. See, is null is something which is used very frequent, right? Assert if this object is null. So if it is null, just assert it, failed, then and there. then is not none, is none, right? Is not a number, then is false, is empty, is defined, is boolean, is below. So there are many examples, right, which you can use. Fail, the most common one, right? So there are many options that we get when we add this assert. Now similarly, assert was one of them. Now let's just try expect. So see, as soon as we write expect, it says auto import from chai static expect is a function. Now if I do this, so now you can see all and any changes to, close to, contains, decreases, decrease, deep, empty, equal, equals, exist. So I can say, right, expect this dot maybe equals dot anything, right? So I can mention anything that it should be equals to whatever, anything, right? So it requires a value and a message. So if it is not equal, let's say if it is not equal, by default it will give you a message. Let's say this string is not equal. So whenever this happens, whenever the string is not equal, the message in the assert you will get is this string is not equal, right? So this is the advantage of expect. So let's get back to the flow, right? Let's get back to Amazon. And so what exactly we wanted was we wanted to see if this was available or not. Let me just inspect this and let me see if we have already added this. Okay, so I'll say this is the ID authorization message box. Let's go ahead and add it in the PO. So what I'll do is I'll say static validation is equals to element by dot CSS. We copied the ID. So I'll use, first I'll add this, I'll use hash and I'll paste it here. So I say whenever I get this validation box, right, this is the validation box. Um, Yep. So this is the validation box. I say whenever I get this, just assert it, right? So I'll say if as a login page objects dot validation dot is displayed. I say is displayed. Then what do? I'll say assert dot, I'll say fail, right? And say what will I do in assert dot fail? What I'll do is I'll get the text from validation. So guys, now there are two types of asserts that we can do. One is the static assert, that is in assert.fail. What do? I just give my own message, which is credentials were incorrect, right? So this is something which is a static assertion that I say, okay, whenever you get the assertion, this is what you're going to get. But what if in future the members of Amazon change this, let's say the text which is written here, or change the validation? Then again, we need to go and update the scripts. So in order to overcome this, what we can do is we can just remove this, and let's say I'll copy this and I'll dynamically ask it to get the text. So now what I'm saying is, now I'm saying, let's see. Okay, so now what I'm saying is, whenever it fails, get me the text from the this dialog box, right? This alert message box. If you see, this is a message box. Get me the text from here. So I am not entering the text by myself. I am saying just get me the text from here. So let's run this. Let's go here and let's run this, and let me just write login page and let's execute this. Let's see what happens. Okay, before we execute, right, in order to fail this, we need to have an incorrect data here. So we'll write A, B, C, D, right? And now we'll execute this. So let's execute and let's wait. So the execution has started. So here we have opened Chrome. And now we are being navigated to the login page, and it enters ABCD. It clicks on continue. See, now the assertion that we get, there was a problem. We cannot find an account with that email address. So now if we go here, there was a problem. We cannot find an account with that email address. So this is now a dynamic assertion which we have just added from the application. We are not mentioning what should be the assertion. We are just saying whatever assertion the application gives me, get me the same assertion, right? So guys, this is how we implement assertions into the framework. This is how we use the additional library, which is chai. And similarly, we can use expect. Now we could have used expect here instead of using if. I say expect validation is displayed. If this is displayed, then maybe it is true. Else, just get me the assertion here. So this is how we add the assertions to the framework, guys. This is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, comment in the video, and please do subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much, guys.